The Witcher Ronin Review. Ronin, drifter or wanderer, masterless samurai. Geralt is faced with difficult moral choices while battling a variety of yokai and uni, creatures inspired by Japanese myths. Each encounter drops a clue in his desperate search for a mysterious apparition known as the Lady of Snow, Yuki Onna, for she is the key to who Geralt seeks, but finding her won't be easy. Based on the rich traditions of Japanese folklore, says the blurb nowadays, many readers in the West are already familiar with yokai, kappa, tengu, etc., and Yuki Onna, Snow Woman, because of the current popularity of manga and anime. This does exactly what it says on the tin. Geralt, the titular Witcher from Andrzej Sapkowski's fantasy epic, is in a new world inspired by Edo period Japan, where presumably because magic everyone seems to understand each other even though he's from somewhere else. Each encounter drops a clue in his desperate search for a mysterious apparition known as the Lady of the Snow, and that's just about it. Geralt meets some kappa, falls out with the locals, has a long chat with the sword of dragon Tatsu that tells him to look for Yuki Onna, glimpses the Yuki Onna up the mountain. A frozen man is a good clue that he's getting close. It is advised to find a tengu at the top of the mountain, and so on, drawing a representative sample of the pale snow creatures of Japanese folklore. There are several details pages at the end of this volume from Matthew Mayer's book's website describing each of the mythological creatures Geralt encounters. In the section entitled Bestiary, US writer Matthew Mayer is known as the yokai guy because he's compiled a website and published book about Japanese folklore creatures. I quoted the publisher's blurb, something I very rarely do, as I feel a little deceived by what's going on here with this manga spin-off from Sapkowski's popular fantasy novel TV series graphic novels, The Witcher. First of all, I was surprised to see that even John, it reads from right to left. This Dark Horse manga release comes in the traditional US comic book size, the kind usually allocated to Marvel and DC Comics, and feels a little flimsy. Top marks the Jan Bartel for the beautiful cover art. That was the first thing to see me, because another artist, mangaka Hataya, has drawn the comic inside, and their style is very different. Glows pages with a delimited color palette and can be very effective. Yet here, it's rather dropped and dull after the first few pages, which could be attributed to the wintry setting, but it's a story which is such a letdown. If you're not familiar with Japanese monster lore, yokai, Yuki Onna, etc., it'd be fresh and excited to see Geralt encounter these creatures. The blockluster dialogue, which switches between contemporary grimdark, sweary and pretentious supernatural speak, and the gears grind each time. This is a little disappointing because the story, it turns out, is by Ralph Jackie, ex-producer and showrunner for Cyberpunk Edge Runners, one of this year's popular anime on Netflix, a polished Japanese production. I can honestly recommend this. The manga readers are already well versed in yokai folklore. If you're interested in The Witcher spin-offery, that's a different matter. If you're new to the world of kappa, tengu, and nekomata, then you might well find this diverting, but the story never really understands the Geralt means the yokai of the day format. I suspect this is intended for the casual reader who's happy to follow Geralt on a quest-style adventure, drawing different mythologies, which involve having to confront or console the monsters of each country he passes through in order to achieve his goal. The creatures of myth and folklore are there to provide a little local color of some mild peril, but it's difficult to get involved with Geralt or his quest as it never feels as if he's in real danger. If you're already well versed in Japanese folklore, I suspect you find this unsatisfying as I did, but then I'm probably not the target reader, even though I really love the cover art. It's 5 out of 10.